Good morning, everybody, on this beautiful day in Toronto. I'm Victoria Lorient-Fabish. I'm a registered psychotherapist and a holistic psychotherapist, and I'm coming to you today with a great topic, a juicy topic nonetheless. I want to talk about emotional self-sufficiency. Emotional self. To me, that's the key. It really is the key to healthy relationships. This is how people are basically going to manage not having guilt, defensiveness, jealousy. When you are taking care of your inner core, you are going to be setting yourself up to behaving in ways that have nothing to do with the other person. Because what I see as a relationship therapist very, very often is that everything is about what did they say? What did they do? What did they think? How are they feeling? Or they did this to me, so I'm doing this to them. That's a lot about what people are acting in unhealthy relationships, whether it be friendships, whether it be partnerships. It doesn't really matter. It's any time you're saying, well, they did this to me, so I'm going to do it to them, you are basically not emotionally self-sufficient. And self-sufficiency really involves 2 or 3 things. Number 1, it involves filling your own cup, deciding that, I have got to take care of my core well-being, my vital core well-being. Whatever that means, whether it means you are going to be, taking care of your physical body, taking care of your emotional being, saying no when you need to say no. But it also means that you are acting out of integrity. And my definition, and many people's definitions in terms of integrity is, how do you act when no one's looking? How do you act when no one's looking at you? That's integrity. And that will create a measure of, I am doing this for me. I'm being nice to this person for me. I'm being boundaried with this person because I need it. It starts to take the other you lean out of the other person and you lean into yourself. Now, this is not about selfishness. This is about a different word that I made up years ago when I wrote my first book, selfiness. So it's not a sort of a negative thing. It's sort of deciding that the world and the people in my life are who they are and I respect them, but I really firstly need to respect myself. And I need to decide, okay, what is it that I need in this experience, in this moment? And emotional self-sufficiency is something that is really unfamiliar to a lot of people because they grew up in a family where you have to always be in function of the other person. And as children, we do need to do that. But as we become adults, I think we need to start to really in the process of becoming an adult, I think it's really, really important to focus in on your own being in terms of what it is that you need. And a lot of people, I would say, ask yourself, do I operate out of guilt? Do I say yes because I feel guilty constantly? Or do I feel jealous? Jealous of my friends, jealous of my partner, jealous of my coworkers. That is all about comparison to the other person. And when I think about comparison, and we all do it sometimes, but it's something that you need to emotionally discipline yourself to not do. I think that a really good concept in terms of banishing comparison from your being is that we're all so uniquely different that how do you compare an oak tree to a bamboo tree? These are 2 trees, but this is incredibly, we're very, very different. We're very, very different. And so comparing is probably not a good idea. And you know what? You know what comparing does? Comparing will make you focus in on your own flaws. And it's not that that's news to anybody, but it sets your brain into the filter system of I'm looking for flaws. So stop the comparing. Put the comparing aside. Understand we're all very uniquely different. And the other thing is, when you're emotionally self-sufficient, meaning you're filling your own cup, you're taking care of your own needs, you're saying yes when you only want to say yes, you're creating routines that are healthy for you. People may not agree with your routines, but you're doing routines that are healthy for you. You stop the defensiveness. You stop needing to prove yourself. You stop needing to say, well, I'm doing this because of this person said this to me. You're doing this, you're saying, I am doing this because I'm choosing to. It's a very balanced adult way to live. A very balanced adult way to live. And it's quite remarkable when people start to live this way in which they stop saying, I need to prove myself. What do you mean by that? Defensiveness. Defensiveness is born from insecurity. Let's be clear. Defensiveness is not about anything but insecurity, because you can respond to people in a non-defensive way. And that's a real, shift in ways of being. But it usually is born from emotional self-sufficiency, in which you say, I am okay on my own. Not that I don't have relationships with other people, but I am okay just on my own. And listen, I'm in a 25-year marriage, so it's not about not being in a relationship. It's about creating emotional self-sufficiency, exactly, Yatushka, happy being me. It's about being okay being your being and working on that as a priority. And that's not easy, because there's a lot of people, pressuring to do this, to be this, to think this. And it takes a lot of courage to say, I'm doing this for me. And I'm doing this not just for me, but I'm doing this actually because I'm going to be a better person in the world. I'm going to be a better person with other people when I take care of me. So, to me, emotional self-sufficiency and working on that will help you get rid of guilt, will help you get rid of jealousy, and will help you get rid of defensiveness. And to me, that is an important piece. And the number one way to get rid of emotional dependency is to really look at, what do I need in this moment? What is important to me? And operating from personal integrity. And personal integrity requires that you act as if no one's looking, and also with discernment. You just don't take on everyone, everything. You act with discernment. My favorite word is the word discernment, where you are deciding on a moment-to-moment basis what is okay to take into your life and what is not okay. All right. This was a topic, and I want you to ponder it, watch it a couple of times, and also let me know topics you want me to talk on, because I will, this week, talk around 9:30 in the morning about different juicy, important topics. And thank you everyone who has joined me thus far, and I will be proliferating this video elsewhere. My first book, many of you know, is called Find Your Self-Culture. I talk deeply about finding your emotional self-sufficiency and your self-culture in this book, moving from depression and anxiety to monumental self-acceptance. And my second book is called Connecting, where you deeply, deeply work on deeply your inner being, but within the relationship, within the relationship experience. What is Jennifer says placements, okay, and Yatushka says reminds me of the old show, The Originals. Interesting, cool. And yeah, the original, the ones I did on Ask Victoria. So if you watch me on YouTube, which is Ask Victoria, I have a lot of videos. These videos are all there as well. So sharing is caring. So share my video widely if you find this resonates with you. And I will see you tomorrow morning, 9:30, with a brand new, juicy topic. Have a great one.